Next up on Boring Gear Reviews, the Spline Laboratories Cathedral. Huge thanks to Joe from Spline Laboratories for sending me the Cathedral. Alright, so Spline Laboratories is a pedal effects company based out of Canada, and they were started in December 2023. Their first pedal is the Cathedral, which is a distortion fuzz, somewhat based on the hyper fuzz. Tons of mods, tons of improvements. It's definitely its own thing, and it goes anywhere from like pretty tame overdrive-y stuff to really, really gnarly fuzz. They do small runs of these, and one really cool thing is every time they do a new run, they change up the color scheme, which I love. The next batch drops tomorrow, August 9th, so if you're lucky enough to snag one, you'll get a really rad one like this. Alright, for controls we have level, which will control the overall output of the pedal while it's on. All the way to the right we have glare, which will be your octave, so you can blend that in as much as you like. Next up we have shape, which is like your tone control, so you can control the high and low shelf. Next up, we have one of my favorite things in distortion pedals is a clean blend. So here we can dial in as much or as little of your clean signal as you like, all the way counterclockwise, no clean signal, all the way clockwise, only clean signal, and then anywhere in between. Lastly, we have gain, which will control the amount of distortion in the pedal. Finally, we have a three-way toggle in the middle on the top, and this will control kind of like the amount of gain. So in the center, it's low gain, and it's almost like a boost. And then we have higher and medium gain in the lower and upper positions. For today's demo, I'm using my 2024 Partscaster Concierge and Baguley number 3. And this has Avedissian Sawtooth pickups. From there, we're running into the Universal Audio Apollo X6, and then finally into the Softube JMP 2203 amp plugin. All right, for this first clip, we're going to go for a lower gain sound. So we're going to have the level maxed. We're going to be in the middle position of the mode switch. We're going to have the glare at like 9 o'clock to introduce a little bit of octave. We're going to have the shape around 1 or 2. The blend is completely off, and then the gain is completely maxed. This by itself gives us an outstanding, very full-bodied, a little bit dirty and gritty, especially because we have some of that octave blended in, but just like a really great, thick, punchy distortion sound. Later on in the clip, we're going to engage the Glass Palace from Holy Island Audio. If you'd like to see a full demo of the Glass Palace, click the link right here. And the way these two work together is really awesome. You want distortions that can play well with others when you need that to, because usually, on your board, you might not have just one distortion. So you don't want them to throw things off. And as gnarly as the Cathedral is, one thing that really shocked me was that it does play very well with other distortion pedals. So we start with this big, thick tone, great distortion. And then when we engage the Glass Palace, it just gets a little brighter, a little thrashier in the top end, but still sounds awesome, stays tight, and very consistent. It's just a great aggressive sound. Enjoy. right, next up, we're gonna get a little gross with it. So we're gonna have the level maxed. We're gonna have the mode all the way up. We're gonna be maxing the glare, so maximum octave here. We'll have the shape maxed as well. We're gonna roll the blend to about 9 o'clock to introduce a little bit of clean. This is important in a second. And then we're gonna have the gain around 1 o'clock. And that will be paired with the Death by Audio Rooms in gong mode. So this setting's super gnarly, and it almost gets like, it almost becomes a glitchy fuzz, but it stays it's a crazy balancing act where it's tuned in a way where even when you max the octave or the glare control, it almost wants to be a glitch fuzz, but it stays like a, I don't want to use the word usable because glitch fuzzes are usable too, but it stays a little more consistent than what you would get from a glitch fuzz, but it sounds super gnarly. So it's as close as you can get without getting there. All right, so this is why I said the blend control is important, because here we have this really gnarly sound from the Cathedral. The fuzz tone is super aggressive, and when you get a tone like this, especially because of the octave, you'll lose a lot of definition and clarity. It becomes very, not messy, but it becomes very noisy. There's a lot going on, a lot of competing frequencies. And here, having my clean signal be able to blend in, it allows there to still be clarity and note separation, which is huge here. In this way, I don't have to compromise how aggressive I want the fuzz to be. I can just also introduce the clean tone, and that balances out beautifully. And I love the way this sounds, where it's like really aggressive and very pretty at the same time. So awesome. And obviously, you know, paired with the rooms for a big gong reverb, it's a great sound. Enjoy. And lastly, we're going for just a big, thick, hairy fuzz tone. So levels maxed, mode is all the way down, glare is all the way off. We're going to have the shape at 9, blend is off, and the gain around 11 o'clock. This is somewhere between like a very doomy fuzz and a, more punchy and more thrashy fuzz. It has the best qualities of both of those sounds together. So whether you're doing more lead line stuff or like big, thick chords, it really just balances perfectly. It's right there. And there's nothing about this that sounds cookie cutter. This is a very unique and exciting sound. Some fuzzes, while they sound good, it's more static. If you were looking at the waveform, it would just kind of like this. This still feels like there's lots of transients and things jumping out at you. A lot of people worry that will it cut through the mix? This for sure will cut through the mix. And the other thing we're doing here is playing with rolling the volume back. So I'll switch to the neck pickup with the volume rolled back a couple times, hear how well it cleans up. It still sounds very dark or evil type sound, but it cleans up well. And that's a wrap for the Spline Laboratories Cathedral. Love this pedal. Love it. I love that they do small drops and that they change up the colors for it. I love the way it feels. I love the way it sounds. I love, the aesthetic. This is, for your first pedal, for any pedal, it's awesome. But especially to come out the gate swinging so hard with such a cool pedal is rad. Spline Laboratories is a company that I would keep my eye on. If you dig it too, links in the description for everything below. And don't forget, tomorrow there's a new batch dropping, so hit up his Instagram, also linked below, and get in on one of those while you can. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please consider hitting subscribe, like, share, comment below. Let me know what you think. It helps me out. I really appreciate that. And until next time, peace.